All right, let's talk about a true giant, in every sense of the word, Shaquille O'Neal. But look, if you only think of him as the guy who shattered backboards, you are missing the absolute best part of the story.
See, on one hand, you've got the player, this absolute force of nature. But on the other, you've got the mogul, a seriously smart investor who also happens to have a doctorate. So how does one person become both of those things? Well, that's what we're going to get into.
To really understand the man, you gotta go right back to the beginning. Because his entire life philosophy, it wasn't built on a basketball court. It was forged in a home that was all about military discipline. This right here, this simple instruction from his stepfather, who was an army sergeant, pretty much became Shaq's personal code. This wasn't just about having good manners. No, it was a lesson in respect, in being present, and having integrity. And those are the exact same principles he'd later bring into every single boardroom he walked into. And you could see that discipline pay off big time on the court. At LSU, he wasn't just another good college player. He was a full-blown national sensation. I mean, just look at these numbers. They speak for themselves, right? He was the undisputed, no questions asked, #1 prospect in the entire country. Everybody knew he was coming, and he was coming to dominate.
And man, did he dominate. His career in the NBA is really the foundation for all his global fame. We're talking about a 19-year reign of pure physical power that literally, and I mean literally, changed how the game was played.
His journey through the NBA was just a masterclass in making an impact. From the second he got drafted by Orlando, to building an actual dynasty with the Lakers, and then winning another one down in Miami, Shaq didn't just join teams, he turned them into instant title contenders.
This is what I mean by force. We're not talking about just bending a ram or cracking the glass. He tore the entire support structure down from the ceiling, twice. The league actually had to reinforce its equipment just because of this one guy.
You know, he was so unstoppable that opponents literally invented a strategy that was all about breaking the rules. Think about that for a second. The best plan they could come up with was to just foul him on purpose, hoping he'd miss his free throws. That is the ultimate sign of dominance. And when you add up all the awards, the legacy is just undeniable. 15 All-Star games, 4 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, a first-ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But here's the wild part. For Shaq, this was just phase 1.
So, with his basketball career totally locked down, Shaq turned his attention from taking over the court to taking over the boardroom. And he did it with a surprisingly sharp and, you guessed it, disciplined strategy.
This quote right here, it perfectly sums up his whole business philosophy. He wasn't happy just making a ton of money. He actually went back to school, got a doctorate in education so he could understand how to manage it, how to grow it, and how to build an empire that would last. And the scale of that empire is just staggering. He got into the franchise game in a huge way, starting with a massive portfolio of 155 Five Guys locations. But that was just an appetizer. Yeah, beyond burgers, Shaq turned out to be an incredibly smart tech investor. He got in on Ring super early, which, as you know, sold to Amazon for $1 billion. Oh, and by the way, he also happened to be a pre-IPO investor in some little company you might have heard of called Google.
But maybe his most impactful business move comes down to this one number, 400 million. It's a jaw-dropping figure for sure, but the story behind it, that's what reveals the true character of the man. So get this. He gets confronted by a mom who tells him she can't afford his signature shoes for her son. So what does he do? He walks away from a multi-million-dollar deal with Reebok and starts his own brand to sell at Walmart. Why? Just to make sure that any kid who wanted his shoes could actually afford them.
And that really brings us to the final piece of this whole puzzle. Shaq has always understood that at the end of the day, he's in the business of entertainment. And maybe more importantly, he's in the business of making people happy. I mean, his entertainment resume is just wild. He has a platinum rap album. He played a genie in a movie. He's a key part of an Emmy-winning TV show. And now he tours the world as DJ Diesel, playing at massive music festivals. The guy just loves to entertain.
But he uses that incredible fame for so much good. His Shaq O'Claws program is this massive, organized effort that brings joy to thousands and thousands of kids every single year. It's really a cornerstone of who he is.
But you know, it's these spontaneous moments that really show his generosity. He just sees a need, and he fills it. No cameras, no PR.
Whether it's an engagement ring for a random couple or furniture for a family who lost everything, he just wants to use what he has to make somebody's day.
So, when you put it all together, the player, the mogul, the entertainer, the philanthropist, you really see the complete picture. He reached the absolute pinnacle of sports, and he built a business empire. But what will he be remembered for most? Maybe it's the simple, powerful legacy of just making people smile.